I got Civilization 7, the new one, on my Switch, but haven't been able to. Haven't sat down and played it yet. Haven't had a moment. But like after this, until the first of the year, I have no.
That's what it is.
Like Christmas and family.
Yeah.
So I intend on sitting down and playing some games.
10 hours, or like you'll be up at like 3 a.m. You've played Civ before, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
You'll be up like at 3 a.m. You'd be like,
one more turn.
Just one more turn. Yeah.
All right. Just about done. We are live whenever you are ready.
Yep. All right. Okay. 3.
Sneeze it. Yeah.
Exercise. It wanted to. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 3, 2. Hello. Welcome back to This Podcast Takes Tokens. I'm Ryan, joined by my brother Derek. You've hit the show where we discuss mainly movies, but things that we grew up enjoying. Yeah. Sometimes comics, sometimes games, sometimes music, just whatever. Mainly movies. Mostly movies. Today we're going to be discussing the 1998 I don't want to say classic, but it's kind of become a cult classic. Pleasantville, one of my favorite movies. Can't wait to discuss it with you. Stick with us. We'll be right back, and we'll get into the show.
All right. Your local video store card.
A comic book in your back pocket.
Games with no tutorials.
Music you had to discover.
And drinking water straight from the hose.
These are the things us millennials remember fondly. We are the Jennings brothers.
Join us after the streetlights come on
as we race our bikes from the top of the hill
right down memory lane.
Exchange those quarters because this podcast takes tokens. Gee, Derek, I gotta tell you, this movie is probably the most keenest, swellest thing I've ever watched.
It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees. We're talking Pleasantville. Yeah, it's pleasant. Everything's always pleasant in Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Hit the numbers real quick. Released October 23rd, 1998. A budget. I couldn't find the exact, so this is just rough estimates. I could find a budget and a gross. Budget, $60 million. You want to take a guess on the gross?
I don't think it did well. I'm going to guess opening weekend, maybe 15 million. Worldwide, probably 70 million.
I couldn't find opening weekend in my quick Google search, so
right.
I'm sure it's in there somewhere. But but the total gross was 49.8 million. So it lost money.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Tomato meter.
I think the critics like this one. I'm gonna go with 65.
85%.
80. Oh, man, way higher than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. Popcorn meter.
I know the people like this one. Did they like it more? I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm gonna go 80% on tomato.
So close. 79%. 79%.
All right.
I don't know where those 6% went because, I mean, that would be me. I loved this movie on the rewatch. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I enjoyed the rewatch on this one. This one's always kind of this one's a fun movie. Like it's interesting, it's different. It's I don't know why this is. Maybe you know why, but for some reason for me, this and The Truman Show kind of occupy the same space. They're both, I don't want to say experimental, but they're different in terms of like, Truman Show's about like the guy who's on reality, who's like got like a whole TV show built around him. He doesn't know he's on it, blah, blah, blah. Pleasantville, not the same setup, but in terms of like, it's different in that like these kids get sucked into this TV show world, and not that, but the way they shoot it, the technicality of this film, it's all in black and white whenever they're in this world, but then little pops of color start showing up, and it's interesting to see this done on film. Like, I know we've had this in the past, like they'll do black and white and they'll like pop a color here or there, but like there's a scene where they're riding in the car to go to that makeout point or whatever, and they're in black and white, and then they start hitting these like the road, and it starts kind of curving around, and then suddenly like these little cherry blossom buds start floating around them in pink, and then more and more color, like things start coming in color. But it's interesting because everything else is still in black and white, but these little like falling cherry blood blossoms, and then by the time they actually get there, pretty much so everything is in color except for these two that are in the car. And so the car's driving around through the scene and they're still in black and white, but the car, the seats that they're in, the dashboard, the reflections, everything else is in color. And it's just, it baffles me. It blows my mind. It looks fantastic. And I love it for that alone.
They shot this entire thing in color, and then in post they desaturated all the colors, and then they went in digitally and just pulled color back in certain
areas.
Yeah. So I think I had read like this was the most, like, how did they word it? It was like the most technical work anyone had ever done on a movie up to that point until Phantom Menace came out the next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I would imagine like 90% of the film, like they're digitally doing something to every frame. But like I said, visually this film is just, it's stunning. And it's amazing. I didn't see it when it first came out. In fact, the first time I saw this movie was probably 5 or 6 years later, in like, I want to say 2003, around there. It's probably the first time I saw it, and it was interesting then. Like, it still had the same like, oh, this is different, and it was fun. Like, it's a fun little film. But yeah, like, and then there's like all these people in it that at the time, some of them weren't really like, you got like Paul Walker and Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon was probably, out of the three of them, the most well known at that point, but even still kind of like up and coming. And then you got, Jeff Daniels, William H. Macy, and Joan Allen. More established actors.
Higher profiled.
Pulling it up on that end. And even the mom, she was in Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm
in the Middle too.
Yeah, she was in there. And then Marley Shelton, who played Wendy Peppercorn in The Sandlot. Oh, she was in there. She was that's right. She was the girl that was Bud's girlfriend. Yeah.
And I noticed it on this rewatch that I can't remember her name. She was in Psych as the Juliet O'Hara, Detective Juliet O'Hara, and she was in here as one of the girls, like the three girls that is like her best friends or whatever in high school.
Yeah.
And that was just like, it's just weird. It's different seeing her there, right.
It's a lot of who's. I even saw. I didn't see it, but I was reading when I was doing all the research on this. Jenna Fisher is in a scene from The Office. Really? She is in the background as an extra. She's uncredited, but she's an extra at the basketball game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
And of course you got Don.
Like, I was gonna say one of the guys from a movie we did more recently. What was it called again? Detroit Rock City. One of those three guys. He was the best friend in the real world. Friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. Yeah.
Lots
of like who's for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember watching this movie at our Aunt Kathy's. Linda told me that our friend Linda told me that I needed to watch it, and they had it over there. And I said, okay, so I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. And I was in high school, so probably 2004, 2003, probably around the same time you watched it. And then I ended up buying it. I don't know, shortly after that, and I've owned it ever since. It's been one of those movies I've never, lost, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I hadn't watched it. It's probably been 5 years since I watched it last. And golly, I mean, this movie, like, I was watching it and I wanted to immediately watch it again after I watched it last night, but it was like 11 o'clock when I finished it up. I'm like, I can't. But man, I don't know what it was this time around. Like, it really like hit me on like some emotional levels, and just
really?
like, I was like, oh my gosh, like that scene, like you were talking about when they go up to Lover's Lane and then it's raining and all that, and they end up spending the night there.
Yeah.
And then Mary Shelton, what's her character's name? Margaret, she wakes up and she's in color. Yeah. Everybody else is in color, and she looks over and like Bud's still just like sitting there looking at his reflection in the water, and he's still in black and white, and he's like crying because he doesn't know why he's, why he can't.
Yeah. Why he can't make change.
That, yeah. And then like when George is, when Bob comes in and like, you want to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, or whatever. Oh, yes. Betty, Bob would love some of your great hors d'oeuvres, Betty. Right. But, when he's calling for her, and then it's such a touching scene when Bud is just like helping his mother put on the makeup so that she doesn't like, because she's embarrassed about it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, there's just so many things like in this movie that it, they're hinting at, like, I mean, obviously racism is in there, with, when they're talking about the people that are colored and then those that aren't. But I don't know, you've got so many hints of just like coming of age, and like, I would even say like sexual awakenings, and all this stuff, like just it's so layered for a dramedy, basically, is what this movie is.
Yeah.
Because the first half of it's really funny. I think like you're seeing all these like tropes, and they walk in, when they pop in there, and they're, when Reese Witherspoon is like, she runs the bathroom, there's no toilets in the bathroom, and it's just different stuff like that. It's so funny. But then there's also like, as the movie goes on, it gets really heavy, and I don't know. It's just, man, it hit me so much different watching it again this time. It's just so good. So good.
See, I would argue this is where I think I differ a little bit. It does start out, it's like really funny, and they're setting up all this stuff, and they're starting to like kind of touch on issues, like you said, like with the racism and sexism and like the different, like even like classism a little bit, and just like, sexual awakening and what it is to be a teenager, all these different things, what it is to be an adult. And they kind of start getting into those, and then I feel like in the second half of the film they just start quickly abandoning all these things that they're trying to say, because I'm watching the film and I'm like, okay, what are they trying to say with all of this? And I don't feel like, I feel like it wanted to say something. It wanted to have a commentary on society, on history in some way. And then it just quickly, towards the end, like the last 30, 45 minutes of the film, it just started going, nope. Moving on. We're done. We're wrapping all the stuff up. We're getting out of here, getting back to the real world, and continuing, and closing out the movie, essentially. Yeah. I do feel like there's missing scenes. Like there's some missing connection points. Like the whole thing with, what's the old guy's name? I don't remember his character's name. The TV repairman guy.
Oh, Don Knotts. He's just the repairman. Is what they
repairman.
Yeah.
So like he sets him up for this. Like it's just like magical TV elf, just like swings in and puts them like. There's no setup for that, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of go along with that, sure. And then like he starts getting mad at him because of all the stuff that's happening, and he's like, you really need to knock this off. Like you're ruining things. I'm gonna take you out of here. And then Bud leaves. He goes back to the real world, and we don't see Don Knotts' character anymore. TV repairman doesn't come back by, except for like a fleeting second. You see him still parked
at
out
the
front.
end. Yeah.
Yeah. At the very
he smiles
end,
and he just drives
and he drives away.
Yeah.
And it's like, was he upset the whole time? Was this part of his plan? Like, I don't understand that part. I feel like there's like something missing. Like like his character didn't get tied up at all. Like there was no conclusion with his character's arc. I feel like that's missing. And then his sister, Reese Witherspoon's character, decides to stay behind.
Yeah.
So what kind of repercussions is that going to have on her mom? That's now like,
I know
my daughter ran away from home. Like what happened there? Like that's like completely, that's going to like cause all kinds of chaos in the real world. And then what happened to the Bud and I don't remember what the sister's name was in the TV land. So whenever he comes back, does Bud go back and then just kind of like continues? And I don't know. It just kind of fell apart for me at the end.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. So with Don Knotts, I feel like the movie, his character is built to be ambiguous. Like, who is this guy? Like, is he a god? Is he like what what is he? We don't know. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not knowing what he is. Like he hands him this remote. It takes him into the television. And you're like, oh,
absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
like fine, that's fine.
The setup is fine. It's just the conclusion part of it. The bug.
And I did wonder what's David gonna say to his mom about Jennifer? Like, But then I also wondered at the same time, because my wife really likes this movie too. This is one of the few movies I've been able to get her to watch with me since we started the podcast. But I told her, like, at the end when David is heading back into the real world, and Betty and Margaret are there with him and everything, and I'm like, if that were me, like based on the life he had, I wouldn't leave. Like I just stayed there. But I feel like he clearly loves his mother, and like he's got his friend back home. I don't know what else he has, but I almost wonder, like, if he explains that to his mom and then goes back, takes her with him back in there or something, because he still has the remote. He still has the ability to go back in there. And in all the time they were there, I don't know how many weeks they were there, a couple, maybe 3 or 4.
An hour passes.
So they, I mean, it's like, Jennifer may be there for, months and months or years to her, but like in the real world, she's gone for a night, maybe,
It's like a Narnia situation. They go in the closet and spend their whole lives, and then they come back out and it's like 5 minutes have passed.
That could be. Like, I didn't think about it like that, but like, and I know you're probably trying to joke, but I mean, honestly, like, seriously, it could, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that, like, go ahead.
I feel like Bud would go back.
Yeah.
Like his arc in Pleasantville was learning to accept himself and be comfortable as himself. And then he goes back because he's finally comfortable as himself, and he feels like he can face his life, his true life, as himself now. At the same time, don't get me wrong, Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man movies, loved it. But after watching this movie with him, I'm like, I can kind of see why everybody cooled on Tobey Maguire after Spider-Man. It wasn't it was fine. The performance was fine, but it was definitely like, it was lacking. I felt like, I thought it was too, there's some actors where whenever you watch them in a movie, you're like, that's Tobey Maguire playing a character versus other actors whenever you see him in a movie and you're like, that's Deadpool. That's not Ryan Reynolds. That is Deadpool. And I kind of feel like that with Tobey Maguire. Like he's either Spider-Man, Peter Parker, or he's just Tobey Maguire trying to play the part of whatever character or role that he's in. And maybe that's just I just don't appreciate Tobey Maguire perhaps, but I felt like throughout this movie, like it just felt like Tobey Maguire. I don't know.
I didn't see it that way.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm not saying, you know, I'm hearing your point. I felt like the character he was playing was, in reality, he was that dopey kid that before he goes in there. And then when he comes in there and he realizes he's portraying Bud now. And you know, he's basically, he's playing Bud, you know, because he's like, oh, we're in this episode, you know, when Paul Walker's asking him for Mary Sue's, you know, can I pin Mary Sue or whatever? He's like, you know, we're in this episode. And he's like, what? You know, he's such a nerd about the show. You know, he's telling Jennifer, like, you can't do this, or whatever. But I feel like he's doing a very good job at playing somebody that's nerding out over this show, that is really dweeby, like just not popular guy who is now in a position where he is somebody.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never thought, I guess I'm on the bandwagon where I've never thought Tobey Maguire was a bad actor. I take, like, his performance in Spider-Man 3 is completely the fault of the script, I feel like. The movie that he's in, Brothers, he plays like you should watch that sometime. He plays
or something like that.
And he's like got PTSD and everything. He is like really, really good in that movie.
I haven't seen that one, so.
But
I think the only dramatic thing I've seen him in was when he did Seabiscuit.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched Seabiscuit.
So I don't have a huge swath of Tobey Maguire movies to compare him against. Like I think he was in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He was the hitchhiking kid that they picked up. So I don't know. I don't feel like I have a lot to compare him against, but everything I've seen him in, he's playing like some version of the same thing.
Of this character.
Which works for Spider-Man.
Sure. And honestly, like I would say, I think the two standout performances in this movie are Joan Allen and Jeff Daniels. I feel like they're
100%.
Just both so, like, Joan Allen, it's such an understated performance, but it's so well done. You feel everything that she's feeling. And the same thing with Jeff Daniels. Like I feel like with Bill, you're just like you know, people must be really lucky to see colors like that, you know. You're like, oh, man, like I know what you're talking about, you know. Like I don't know.
Do Betty and Bill have a history, or whenever they first meet, is that just chemistry?
I think that's chemistry. So I had looked into this because the ending with
that
Betty,
I want to talk about too.
And with Betty and George on the bench, and then Betty like the camera goes to Betty and it goes back and it's Bill. What I think happened there is because there was so many changes in the show, basically, because you know, we're still in a television show. Like, there was all these changes. The characters are changing in the show. I think that in that moment, the script, quote unquote, was rewritten because it was like, oh, Betty is much better off with Bill than she is with George. So, like, they, in that moment, like, because it, you know, the whole thing is like talking about how things don't have to be set a certain way. Like, you know, life doesn't have to be
on the old TV shows where, you know, like Leave It to Beaver and stuff like that. Things are formulaic and, you know, it follows a certain rhythm, and they're kind of upsetting that, if you will. Okay.
And that's what I feel like happened.
It's a little too, I think that might be a little too, I don't know, not meta, but like subversive? No. Yeah, I feel like that might win over my head.
Oh,
and
sure,
probably go over most people's heads, and they're going to see this, and they're going to see this ending, and they're going to be like, that makes absolutely no sense. And
absolutely.
every time I watch the movie, the last 5 minutes, I'm like, none of this makes any sense. Like, it just feels like they threw some stuff at the screen, and they were like, there's your ending, we're done, make of it what you want, and then walked away. And I don't like those so much.
I agree with you. I will say, I think the weakest part of this movie is about the last 5 or 10 minutes. And it's the way it's wrapped up, because I'm fine with ambiguous endings. I love ambiguous endings. But this is less ambiguous and more, they just didn't explain what was going on.
They just ran out of time.
Well, yeah, it's like they had an idea for an ending, and they're giving you this idea, but they just didn't. It's not like, I don't feel like they set out to be like, let's have an ambiguous ending. Mm-hmm. It was like, hey, this ending, let's make this really cool ending. Oh, shoot, we're in post.
We never shot that.
This movie comes out in like a month, and we forgot to shoot those scenes.
Yeah. That's
so
definitely what it feels like.
Yeah,
and they worked with what they had.
It does. Like, I'm fine with Jennifer staying. I get that. Like, that works with her character. To, she's done with this other life she was living. She has become a new person, and she wants to live this life because she doesn't feel like she can live this life in the real world. That fits in a box. That's fine. I can understand that. I don't get William H. Macy changing to Jeff Daniels. Like, so what I told you is just what I'm envisioning happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would like to have seen, a little more dots connected with that. Yeah.
It was definitely like they ripped the pages, they ripped the film and taped it together with like the ugliest Scotch tape they could find, as opposed to taking a razor and methodically cutting out certain parts and splicing everything together.
Yeah.
It was just mashed, like slammed. And the ending, I don't know. I feel like it could have gone a little better for sure. Like, but I mean, the whole thing, it's fun. It's a fun trip. I wonder if they didn't have the black and white color technical feat that they achieved with this film, would it be as loved? Would it be as admired as a film? Or does that allow us to kind of overlook some of these like third act problems?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, like, as much as I love this movie, and I've, talked about that just a few minutes ago. Yeah, I think that if you take out the technical achievements in this, and they go into this world and it's still color, like they're just in this, okay, they're in a TV show.
Right.
That's,
or it's even just like all black and white.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I think that because if they're not splashing, but that's the thing. I guess I feel like they could have shot the entire thing. No, I don't know. They had to do it the way they did based on the narrative of the movie. But I see what you're saying.
But they could have also just like washed over the film, like the very last color reveal is we have Bill behind the pulpit, pounding fury and anger, and then suddenly he just and he's color, and we see it happen for the first time on film.
Yeah,
and if they would have just done that, like with every shot where something goes color, the whole shot just like becomes color like that, it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't have worked.
Seeing the little pops.
And I think that adds to like Bob's, like, seeing that transformation adds to that scene. If like you're saying, if they would have had him transform the way you see everything else, where it's like you just see kind of like how they did with William H. Macy when George is sitting there and there's a reveal.
Yeah.
If they would have done that with Bob, it wouldn't have worked. I really think that's a great scene. It's, where's our lawyer? I don't think we need a lawyer for this, and it's this whole thing. And they've got all the people that are, in color that are up in the balcony again. There's the racism thing. And then you've got, And it's, oh gosh, that scene is so good. And then when he just makes, he's, it's in all of us. You can't, well, it's not in me, or whatever. And
right.
But I wonder, so another question that I had, I guess I would have liked to have seen, I really think Bob is probably a really good guy, like in the show. Like, I don't think he was a jerk, and same with Whitey. Like, did all of this, like, quote, corruption cause them to become bad guys? Because, like, Whitey is a jerk, like he pulls up in the vehicle and he's like, there's your colored girlfriend, and he's like, and I think it
can
hints
make me
to
cookies anytime you want. Yeah.
And I think it hints to, like, towards the end of the movie when Bud's looking for her and, like, she's running towards him on the square and her clothes are torn and stuff. Yeah. I think that, like, that hints to them trying to, like, sexually assault her or something like that. But they don't, like, it's a PG-13
like they did
movie.
With his mom.
Exactly. I don't think Whitey's clearly not that in the show, in the original show, because they talk about how Margaret was giving him, those cookies are Whitey's cookies.
Right.
I just think it's interesting.
A little bit, probably the most dead-on double entendre throughout the whole film. Whenever he's talking about those are Whitey's cookies, you don't get Whitey's cookies.
Yeah. And I like that. I like how the color and the, finding yourself or whatever you want to call it. Like, there's a lot of good that comes out of it, but then there's also, like, it corrupts some people, like the lack of, I guess. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Well, I gotta say, there was a couple moments of, like, nostalgia early on in the film, like the TV guide. Whenever he's flipping through the channels and he comes across that TV guide.
Yep. TV guide channel. Yep.
I remember just sitting there watching that TV guide, waiting for it to scroll around to see what was going to be coming on and the different channels and everything. It's like, like we complain now about, like, oh man, I go on Netflix and I just scroll and scroll and scroll looking for what to watch next. It's the same thing. We did the same thing in the 90s. Yeah. We just turned it on one channel and sat there and watched it.
Yep.
And if you spaced out and you missed your section, you had to wait like 5 minutes for the whole thing to, like, circle back around again.
Yep.
But that brought me back a little bit. I thought that was fun.
I was watching this and I'm like, well, there's two things around that scene that kind of popped out to me. One was they were fighting over the TV, and at first I forgot they had a TV upstairs, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I looked over at Mindy. I'm like, remember the days when we just had one television in the house? Right. But even then, like, two TV, like, now we have a room and, like, or we have a TV in our bedroom. In every room. Right. The kids have, like, there's,
and then back then, if you had two TVs, the second one, which was upstairs, was almost always black and white or way older.
Yeah. Or it was, like, super small, or it was the inferior television set. Yeah. Like, the nice one was going to be in your living room. Absolutely. But I'm watching and I'm like, oh gosh, I told my wife, I said, if this were, like, shot today, it'd be like a Netflix binge of the show. It's not going to be, this thing that's
this couldn't be done today. Yeah.
No.
It was definitely like one of those time capsule moments for sure that like we'll never experience again. Yeah. I mean, there's some version of it. Like, there's artificial timelines on things now. There's these artificial, like, events that occur now. Like, my son has gotten back into Fortnite and they have all these quote unquote events where they got to be on at a certain time on a certain day to experience it. And it's like, yeah, but, like, that's manufactured. That's not the same as waiting for your show to go live and watch it with everybody else. And that's the only time you can watch it unless you record it.
Right.
And then it's done.
Yeah. What about the $1,000 prize for the contest? And you get to go to the Pleasantville of your choice, I guess. But I'm like,
are there that many Pleasantvilles in the U.S., I wonder?
I don't know. I know there's one in Iowa, I think.
Is there?
But I don't know how many.
I would have thought that was an actual town name, but I guess so. I like all the teachers in the beginning hammering home.
Oh my gosh,
that you're gonna die.
just such a bleak outlook.
Right.
on life. And
it's pre Y2K. We were all concerned about the end of the world. I mean, we still are, but yeah,
in different ways, I guess. But
everybody's got their own.
I loved the breakfast that Betty made. It's just this massive, like what is this?
She's like, but it's like school as soon as you eat, and she just keeps loading all the stuff on her plate.
But it's like it's really, and I know they're using this as an influence, but it's really like Leave It to Beaver. It's like you'd see Joan, and she would have these massive meals made, and you're like, what the heck is this? But there was that, and then the other thing that made me chuckle was when Bud first walks outside, and a fire engine comes by, and they're helping the cat out of the tree.
Yes. They're all in like formation. I like whenever they throw the ladder on the tree and the three guys are standing at the bottom perfectly still and they don't move. And it's like a freeze frame. Or whenever he goes into the high school and he's in basketball and nobody can miss a basket. Like no matter how he throws it, it just goes in.
Funny.
It was great.
So funny. He just kicks it and it bing, and it swishes. But then when he tells Whitey, or not Whitey, when he tells Skip, Skip, I don't think that's a good idea to ask, Mary Sue out right now. He's like, I don't know what I'd do if she wouldn't go out with me. And then he like frustratingly throws it and it doesn't go in.
Right.
And it's that shot. It's that shot. Yeah. The ball, it like follows the ball and everybody's like staring at it. And did you hear the coach?
He's don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Nobody touch it.
Just let it go. Let it go.
And then after they've all come back from Lover's Lane, after, Skip's told them about, what he did.
Right.
They all go to shoot and nobody hits it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's great.
And then they end up losing the game, like 14-90 or something like that.
Yeah. It's really bad. And that's one of my favorite lines is when the men are in the barber shop and they're talking and they're like, maybe that's where they get the saying, you can't win them all. And then Bob comes in and he's like, well, tell me this. If they've never lost and they've never tied, isn't that winning them all? And, yeah, I guess it is winning them all. But and who are they playing? Because there's nothing outside of Pleasantville.
There's nothing outside of those two streets. But then like they show like the wide shot and you can see like all the different streets, like all the houses are on different streets. I'm like, your house isn't, there's not a name to the street your house is on.
Yeah.
But I like whenever they're in that barber scene and the mayor guy walks in and the guy that's in the chair, he gets up, he's like, oh, here, let me get you a chair. And he's like, no, don't worry. I'm not going to kick you out of your chair. And then he just proceeds to sit down and get set up for his haircut. You could just, that was the perfect setup for, this guy's a jerk. He's a jerk. And here it is.
Yeah.
And I love whenever they just tell you under no uncertain terms who the character is whenever they introduce you. And it's easy whenever the character's a jerk.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I got one more point I want to make.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no transition to get into this.
That's okay.
The relationship between the mom and the kids, the Pleasantville mom and kids, it's like and maybe it's just like, I don't watch enough old black and white shows to know, because I'm not familiar with, like, I don't watch Leave It to Beaver or Andy Griffith Show or anything like that, so I don't know the ins and outs of relationship back in those days, at least on TV. So maybe this is just how it was, but there seemed to be a huge disconnect between the kids and the mom. Like, she almost operated like almost like a robot, and almost like nobody else affected her in any real way or had an effect on her, and she had no effect on them. Like, she just kind of went through serving and then just shut off. So I guess I'm not wrong.
No. I agree. I feel like she was I think you said, I mean, you said best. That's what you look at a lot of these movies or like these shows. I mean, well, like you're saying, you haven't watched a lot of those shows, but like in a lot of those shows, the mom is like, she's home and she's there as just like a cooker and a cleaner. And it's usually dad that's like giving the advice. and
she's in service.
Yeah. Now there's shows. It's like Happy Days wasn't like that. I mean, but I think it's maybe some
Archie
like the
Bunker
old
kind of threw all that in a wrench.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes her character so good. Like she breaks out of that and she like realizes she's like, I don't want to. This isn't what I want. Yeah.
Well, you got anything else you want to throw out there?
Yeah. So a couple things here. So I thought it's always fun to hear about who they had originally wanted to cast in these things. So instead of Don Knotts, you want to take a guess who their original choice was? If you think classic TV,
Gilligan?
No, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh,
Dick Van Dyke. They originally wanted him to play that role.
That would have been the best role. Yeah.
And Don Knotts
casting.
He was there to do all of his on-screen shots, but a couple of the shots, like when he's in the TV, like when Bud's in the TV shop and he's talking to him or whatever, Don Knotts wasn't available. I don't know if he got sick around that time, because I think he passed away not long after this. He wasn't available to do his, like in post, they'll come back sometimes and they'll have the actors come back and redub the audio.
All that.
Yeah, he wasn't available for that. So there was a different guy that like did his voice work for some of that, which I didn't notice it was anybody different. Like the guy just was pretty spot on with it, but I thought that was interesting. And then
8 years before we lost Don, by the way.
Oh, it was another 8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he had something else going on. I don't know. Jennifer, Mary Sue. Reese Witherspoon was not the first choice. Do you want to take a guess around this time?
His other co-star from Spider-Man, Kristen Dunst.
Oh no, that would have been a good one. She would have worked. Melissa Joan Hart was their first pick for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was hot at the time. With
she was. Yeah,
she's doing Sabrina at this time.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of see that. I could see her doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a very different role from what she's used to playing. Kind of playing the promiscuous girl. But I think it would. It would have. I could see that would have worked. But
they'll definitely break her out of that. Was it the Nickelodeon bubble or whatever?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think that was all the points I wanted to hit. I liked it. I loved it. I want some more of it. I'm gonna watch it again sometime.
Look, it's a fun movie. It was a fun rewatch. I will definitely watch it again. Like if I come up and it's on, I'm gonna watch it for sure. Despite the third act problems that I have with it, it's still fun and a visually interesting movie to watch just for that.
Yep, it is. Do the retro ramble? Want to get into that?
Let's do it.
Okay. So my question for you last week was, what is your favorite classic TV show? And my stipulation was like pre-1990, I think.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Classic TV, like pre-1990. Like, yeah.
Like, that's classic TV at this point. I've got a bit of a double answer.
Okay.
And it'll make sense here in a second. Growing up, my mom used to watch I Love Lucy reruns all the time.
Oh, sure.
So I'd watch those a lot with them. Growing up, watch a lot of I Love Lucy. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'm not watching it today. I'm not going out of my way to watch it. And I generally don't watch it if it's on. I'll change the channel before I watch it. But I enjoyed them. Now, USA used to run this thing called USA AM, and they'd run older sitcoms. If I stayed home or it was the summer or something like that, or spring break, I'd watch Wings in the morning. They'd read.
I remember you talking about Wings. Yeah.
So it depends on how you look at it, but for me, I think it's probably like Wings would be like one of the latest shows that I would watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I never got into Leave It to Beaver or the Waltons or anything like that. So yeah, how about you?
I like that. I remember. I kind of thought you might say Wings, because I remember growing up, like there was at least one summer where you were just all about Wings. Like I think it was
ran like 6 hours of it every morning.
Oh man, I think it was the summer that Men in Black came out because Tony Shalhoub was in Men in Black. You're like, oh yeah, he's in Wings.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that. Anyway, yeah. I Love Lucy. Mindy, she hadn't watched it for a while, but there was a time where that's all my wife was watching was I Love Lucy. And I have seen so much of that I'm done watching I Love Lucy.
Fair.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 times I watched the show.
Classically funny. Like,
oh yeah.
As far as like, old stuff goes, like that's like talk about writing the rules of comedy.
It's perfect. It deserves every bit of praise it gets.
Absolutely.
Like my distaste for it is not because of the content, it's just because I've seen it so many times.
Right.
Like I don't want to watch it again. But yeah, so my favorite classic TV show, you actually had said it, is the Waltons. Well, I love the Waltons. I love it so much. I own the entire series on disc. I've watched it I don't know how many times.
As soon as you asked this question, I was like, he's gonna say the Waltons. I know it.
Yeah. Honestly, like there was a part of me that was like, I used to watch a lot of Happy Days, and I still like Happy Days, but I can't. The Waltons are my jam. I still like watch it once in a while. Like I remember when I was really into it, it was like there was it was maybe 2013 or something where I really got heavy into it because my grandmother watched it a lot, and I would come over and she had some of the. I think she had like first 2 seasons on disc. Actually, I think the first 2 seasons that I have are hers. But we would watch those and she loved them. And that's kind of where I started liking it at. And then after she passed away, I kind of made me feel a little closer to her, I guess, by watching the Waltons again. So then I ended up like buying the rest of the seasons and all that. And I just, oh my gosh, there was like, I think a fall or like a winter or something where I would come home from work. I wasn't in college yet. And I just watched that. I'd get home from work and I'd make dinner and I'd sit down. I'd watch it till like 10 o'clock and then go to bed, then get up and go to work again. And I binged through the entire series. And I remember being like genuinely upset that I could not go live on Walton's Mountain. Like, I know it's so ridiculous, but yeah.
So what is it about like the Waltons that, because like for me, like shows, like I like shows whenever they resonate with me and I feel like a relationship with them. And I don't feel like I don't feel like a residency or a relationship with these older shows, especially like ones set in the 50s and stuff like that. It just doesn't resonate with me. So that's why I'm kind of out on the older stuff, but you're into it. So what is it about it that gets you? Is it just the nostalgia?
With the Waltons specifically, I think it's a little bit of the nostalgia. So it takes place like during the Depression and like during the 1930s and everything. And it's a lot of the like Walton's Mountain is a really small community, and it reminds me a lot of like where like my mom and her family grew up at, like in Cowgill, Missouri, and then like over in like Laclede, where like our family's from, and it reminds me of those small towns, and just like it's a sense of community because everybody knows everybody. Everybody's out there like watching out for everybody, and then it's just the tightness of the family. We both come from a blended family. Like we don't have the same mom, and we've like my mom and our dad, like they've been married multiple times. You know what I mean? Like it's a very blended family, and I love everybody in my family. It's just like, you see that and you're like, oh man, that would be like, that's comforting. Almost. Yeah. Just to have, and that's something like, I guess to get a little bit deep, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like I see stuff like that, and it's like, that's what I am like striving to build with my family. Just this, this closeness of, like no disconnect, and all this stuff. But yeah, that's really what resonated with me watching it. And it's just, I don't know. It's just timeless, I guess. It's good. It's good. Maybe we'll we won't, because I know you don't want to sit there and watch a whole series of the Waltons, but
if it's just what you pull, it's what you pull.
Yeah. But There was one episode that was really like out of the norm with that, and it's like a ghost story.
Really?
And it like it's been so long since I've watched that episode. It's like one of the first seasons. But like John Boy, like there's just all this really weird stuff that happens, and like by the end of the episode, you're like, was that like really a ghost? You know, he's a writer, or he's an aspiring writer, and it's like he's writing all this out, like just these weird things that happened in this episode. And I don't know, it's just really kind of out of the norm for that show, but it's an interesting episode. Anyway, this isn't a Walton's episode. I'm sorry. I go on and on about it.
So, no, do you?
Yeah. You got any stale popcorn?
Yeah, I got a little something for you. This is I don't know if we talked about this before whenever we did either one of these subjects.
Mm-hmm.
But Melora Hardin, I saw a thing, and it reminded me of this. Melora Hardin was originally cast as Jennifer in Back to the Future before being replaced by Claudia Wells. I just thought that was interesting. I can't
Melora, I need to look her up.
Yeah, she was Jan in The Office.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Right?
Wow. Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if we talked about that when we did Back to the Future in The Office, but yeah, so I thought that was interesting. She was originally cast, and so like her and Eric Stoltz would have been the original Marty and Jennifer. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning.
And either
like
both those
at the time.
Like I've seen like some of the footage from Eric Stoltz, like because they shot a decent amount of the movie, and then they decided to recast him. I mean, it's that role is Michael J. Fox. Like there's
iconic.
There's nobody else.
He is Future Boy.
He is. He absolutely is. And just as Chris Lloyd is Doc, like nobody else is gonna,
or Fester.
Yeah. Or Fester. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah. So honestly, my stale popcorn was Back to the Future 2.
Oh.
And we just did last week. I thought about this week. They establish that when something changes, right? I'm going to pick apart one of my favorite movies. They establish when something changes that it skews a new timeline.
Right.
Yet when Biff goes back and gives himself the almanac and comes back to 2015, he starts disappearing because Lorraine
changes.
Nothing else. None of that changes. Like he doesn't go to the 2015 where Biff has become this rich billionaire.
Right.
He goes to the 2015 back, rightfully so, back to the 2015 that he came from.
Right.
How is he disappearing? Because he had in that timeline, he hasn't given himself the sports almanac.
Maybe it's because he left that timeline before his past Biff could make a bet that would impact future Biff. Yeah, I'm with you. Like it doesn't.
You see,
it's like, yeah.
Back 3 does the same thing. Like you've got the headstone that says, Emmett, and then it changes to Clint Eastwood. I'm like, no, that photo is from the timeline when Dr. Emmett Brown died.
Right.
That photo is not from the timeline where Clint Eastwood's on there.
But then Doc fixes it all at the very end of 3 when he says the future isn't written. It is whatever you make it to be.
I know.
So make it a good one.
The Polaroid's not making it, though. The Polaroid's taking a picture that was...
The Polaroid dictates the whole first film.
Have you seen the new Lego movie? Like Lego Movie 2?
Yeah.
Did you notice? Well, obviously, it's very heavy-handed. They outright say it. Like, where... whatever the main character's name is. I don't know. I just watched it this week with my daughter. Emmett, when the villain is him from the past or the future or whatever. And then he starts like, they change the past to the future and he just starts like disappearing. And he's like, oh, I'm disappearing. Like I'm Back to the Futuring it. And he's like, what are you talking about? Oh, Back to the Future. It's a classic movie. You should really check it out. And he's like disappearing as he's saying it. It's so funny.
I haven't seen it since it came out. I don't really.
Oh, okay. Well. Yeah. He goes. It's funny. It's funny.
I've seen the first one 1,000 times, I'm sure. With the kids, they love that first one. We watch it all the time. I haven't seen the second one. I think I've seen the second one like once whenever it first came out. I haven't seen it since then.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I liked it.
All right. Well, that's all we got.
That's it.
Well, I kind of screwed up.
Uh-oh.
I didn't come up with the Retro Ramble for this week.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
I know. I fumbled the ball. Fumbled the ball. No. I mean, you're used to that by now, but I did it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You can just give it to me off of the show.
It's going to be a surprise next week for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for me too, because I just forgot. we filmed early. We went early this week. It threw me all off. And anyways, I'll go ahead and let you know next week, or next episode, I should say. We're going to be, discussing our, top 3 video games for couch co-op. Our top 3 2-player video games. Yep. So 2 or more. Like it could be more, but old school couch co-op, none of this online stuff, but each of our top 3 favorite couch co-op games. So yeah, join us for that. And I'll bring you a Retro Ramble, and we'll surprise everybody with it next week. That's my Retro Rambles. Next week's gonna be a surprise because Derek forgot.
Yeah. That's okay.
All right, well,
that's okay.
Thank you everybody for watching, listening, putting up with me forgetting things. This has been This Podcast Takes Tokens. Make sure you don't miss a single episode. Come up with your own Retro Rambles and subscribe wherever you are. As always, be kind, rewind, and we will see you all next time.
Go Jags, Duval.
What?
Yeah.
Just abandon the Chiefs like that.
I told you, it's no secret that I've been a Jags fan. It's just nice. And hey, I've got another team that's actually doing surprisingly well this year.
It's all right. We all got a backup. You got to have a backup in the NFL and a backup for your backup sometimes.
Yeah. Especially if you're a Browns fan.
I think if you're a Browns fan, you don't have... Your picker screwed.
You just don't have high aspirations in general. Which, to be honest, I haven't had high aspirations for the Jags for a while, but no, dude.
I can't believe I forgot the Retro Ramble. Like, I thought I was all ready. I just completely forgot that I needed to come up with that this week.
Yep.
Anyways, I would have come up with something throughout the episode, but I didn't notice it until we got down to that part, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
It's hard to try to think of something on the fly like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyways, I think we're all good. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream.
Oh, anybody that is, if you're listening, you're watching us or whatever, we appreciate you so much that we're going to tell you that we're going to take a couple. Probably a week and a half off here. So for the holidays, we've done a few extra
couple episodes.
We're going to take some time off with for the holidays, and we'll be back here in, I guess, 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Thursday. So 2 weeks from Christmas. Yeah. So you can still listen to the episodes. They'll come through, whatever. But
we'll leave up the lives. We come back on Thursdays. Second Thursday of this year, we'll be back. Or the next year, we'll be back.
Yep.
So every Thursday, 8:15, join us.
Yep.
See y'all around.
See you guys.